talking to one of my clients in class today, and she said, Walker, one of the things that I have learned from you is how to use AI to find quick information, how to look up, who are targets in my market, or what are the problems they might be having, or things like that. There are lots of ways to use it. But she said, what I've learned about artificial intelligence is that, while maybe they call it intelligent, but it's not wise. I was like, okay, Christine, shout out to Christine. Tell me what you mean. She said, well, you're asking us to be wise. And I said, okay, so how are you doing that? And she said, well, you're showing us how to go slow and how to ask what we need to know and how to be transparent and be direct and to be, like we talk about around here, to be a guide and not the hero. And said a lot of salespeople want to be like AI, to give answers quickly, to come right to the point, to someone ask a question, you give them the answer. But what you've shown us is that's not necessarily the right way. I thought, hell yes. What a lesson. That's terrific to have that idea. And I love the way she put it that way. And so I thought more about it. What is the definition of consultative sales? I said, what consultative sales is to me is that you, not actually, but sort of, you sit on the same side of the table as your prospect. Get them to trust you enough that you're sitting there and your job is to deeply understand where they're coming from. What are they trying to accomplish? What are they trying to accomplish today? And then what are the problems they're trying to solve? And which ones of those rise up to the top as being ones they have to address now? Which ones they have to address now? Which ones are because I don't know, I got 1 million problems. Maybe y'all have less. I may have more than 1 million. But I only have so much time, money, give a shit to address a couple of those at a time, maybe 3. And so if the problem that you're there to solve is one that they don't give a shit about right now, or they can't put it at the top of their list, then you're not doing them any favors by telling them how to solve it. They're not going to fix it. You're wasting their time. A true consultative salesperson will listen and understand, right? Everybody's like, oh, I got to go on my sales call to go educate. Reality is, yes, you need to go on a sales call to educate. But the reality is you're the one that needs to be getting educated. You're the one that needs to go in there with the idea, okay, I've got lots of ideas, but I have no idea about this person. I don't know what drives them. I don't understand what would make them move forward to solve this kind of thing. I don't know their budget. I don't know how they make a decision. Those are all I don't know what problem it is yet. Maybe they've given me a problem, but I don't know what the real problem is yet. And until you know all those things, what's the problem? What's the real problem? What's the motivator that would make them do something now? Then what budget do they have to fix it? You got to help them figure that out. Not by telling, but by asking, right? And then make sure you ask, what if that's not enough? And then how do they make their decisions? And understand a true consultative salesperson will give options to their prospect that may not even be in their benefit. Another client called me today or called me last night, and he said, I got this guy who we've got a piece of equipment that's $180,000, and he's trying to beat me up because he says he can get this other piece of equipment. He says similar, but made by the Chinese, get that for $110,000. And I said, what do you want to tell him? I said, can you ever get down to that price? He goes, hell no. And I said, what's the truth? He said, well, if the guy just has to buy cheapest, he just needs to go buy that one. I said, then tell him that. It might sound like, listen, it sounds like a really great deal. Why would you not just buy that? Right? Not in my client's best interest necessarily, doesn't have to waste time with it. But at least you get to the truth. Maybe the guy says, well, that's a piece of Chinese junk. I don't want that shit. Right? Maybe so. Maybe he says, okay, well, I will. Okay, great. Hey, now that's over, can I ask you a couple of questions? Sure. Hey, when they explain to you that it might be hard when the tariffs go to 50% on Chinese parts for that thing, how'd they make you feel comfortable that they'd even be able to repair it when it broke? When you looked at the warranty, and I've seen those, they're wonderful, complete warranty that covers everything. But when they assured you that with that great warranty, it also included a guarantee they'd get it done in a certain amount of time, since it doesn't say that, how'd they make you comfortable that actually that they wouldn't just take your thing back, say, yeah, it's under warranty, and then never fix it? It's your job to ask and not to tell. Your job is not to pressure somebody to say yes. One of the things we work on with people a lot, right? Consultant is respectful. Consultative salesperson, very respectful, not transactional. So before you give your information away, you say, look, I'll be happy to tell you what I think I would do. Be happy to tell you what I think you should do. What we have experienced, what other people like you have done in the past. I'll be happy to show that to you. If I'm okay showing you that, answering any questions that you have, would you be okay telling me whether or not you want to do business together? If they say yes, that'd be fine. You say, okay, great. Anything less than you're thinking hiring me to fix this is a great idea, let's call it a no. See, that's what a consultative salesperson does. There's no pressure. They fully understand their prospect. And as soon as the prospect is not following along, if they feel like there's not trust, or they won't share information, or they're not being reasonable, or they don't have a budget, or it really is not that big of a problem, they're just kind of curious, the consultative salesperson has the guts to say, sounds like we're talking at the wrong time. This can't be. Sounds like you've got other things you got to get to first. Your job is to tell the truth, is to be transparent, but first is to fully understand your prospect, not because you think something happened or you think this is what's going on, but because you know, because you asked. Try that. Go on a sales call and try to understand the prospect as best you can. What would motivate them to do this? Why now? What happens if they don't? How much money can they spend to fix it? What if that's not enough? When were you guys hoping to do this? Why then? Answer those questions. And when something comes up and you say, you could get this done cheaper somewhere else, or you can buy this down the road for a hell of a lot less than you can hire me. Or, there are other things out there you can do. Be happy to point you in that direction. When you can do that, you will make more money than you can believe. When you can walk away, when you can give up your need to try and close it. When you can stop selling and start having real conversations with people about the real things they're dealing with, it's amazing the trust you'll build, the referrals that you'll get if you ask for them, and the business that you'll close faster than you ever dreamed. Go do that and let me know how it works out.